So React is a single page application, we say. Single page application. And what is single page application in the sense? Uh, so if we go to .NET solution, if we need any functionality, there will be different view for each functionality. Even inside home itself, you can see three files are there: index, contact, and about three pages. So all are three different pages. Okay, here we won't be having page concept at all. So everything will be in single page only. Say for me, if I go to this page. Tutorial. See, there is something in the React.js.organization. Once you go this, if you see this page is not at all refreshing. There is no page. Okay, inside the frame itself, content is updating. Okay, the thing is from one node to another node, the path is going, and only this whatever the DOM we are seeing, the DOM content alone changing. In single page, everything is happening. There is not multiple pages created for each options we have. Okay, and that's the concept in both Angular and React. And how it is working, they have concept called component. Okay, component is something you can relate to web part in SharePoint. Okay, it's a piece of code and it will give a particular functionality. Okay, if you see in this page, you can see this as a one of the components. So in this component, they are displaying what intro to React. Okay, same way they can develop another component, and this component is something same thing. Okay, prerequisites about the component. About React, what are the things needed. Okay, so for each functionality they'll be having separate component, and it will start from one single point only. Okay, so that's from that single point only. If we need to go to any other page, there are multiple concepts like routing and stats. Many concepts are there. Okay, that we will see one by one. Okay, so as far as a single page application, it is collection of components from one parent to another component. We need component. We need to redirect using routing concept. Okay. Uh, and component we see. Okay, component, there are two types of component. See, component is something, if you go to the solution, everything under the component folder only. You see, this is one of the component that just fully details.tsx file. Okay, in the tsx file, whatever there in the render method, it will be displaying. This is one of the component. Okay, this is the main component. From here only everything starts. Okay, if you want to display something else, you will create your own component, and then that component link has to be given here, so that when clicking from the main component, there will be button or some link. end user click on that link, and your new component will load from there. Okay, without navigating to that page, we can achieve it. Okay, that's the concept here. Okay, so two types components are there. Class component, function component. Function component is something simple. Okay, you don't need to worry. There will be only function in that component. Some export here you can see default class and all there. Right? They can write only if there is any class component. Here are class component only. Okay, so instead of writing everything in the class, we can directly write only in function. Okay, that's simple function. Something export function, like that we can write here, return what you want to return, div tag or whatever tag you want to return, that you will mention in this. Okay, this is simple function component. Okay, if you see as the class component is the one which is having that oops concept. For class component, we need to follow, we need to create class and follow React lifecycle. React lifecycle in the sense, what are the methods, predefined method React is provided when you are creating class component, like a render method is alright, like with common console, sorry, uh, constructor method is there, component did mount. So like a few methods are there. Okay, we need to follow which functionality needs to be written in this which function. Those things we need to know. In that function only we need to write code. Accordingly, our component will load in the front end. Okay. If we see example, functional component React in, see, function and class component. Function, simplest way to define component is to write JavaScript function. So this is one of the similar function component. Okay, there is nothing one function. In that function, from there you are returning some value. That's the thing. Okay, for the same way, if you see class component, we need to have class, and in that class. There should be a method called render. Okay, in that render method only, whatever we should return from this class component should we should write. Okay, that's the difference between class component and function component. Okay, sometimes this question can come, difference between class component and function component, which one you prefer. Okay, so some simple functionality you want to achieve, and without any, some static content only, without any performance and without any API call, means you can go with function call. Okay, for other things and all, mostly we will be going with the class component. Okay. Hmm. These things we'll see on React lifecycle that we see, right? React lifecycle methods. And you refer this site, okay, this is the site provided by React.js, okay. Mm, okay, this one you try, I'll give this one. This is the site provided by React itself. Okay, all the components they have explained, all the concepts they have explained in simplest way. Okay, so you go through here. Okay, the component we see by default when there are two concepts mounting, updating. Okay, and unmounting we can see. Okay, mounting in the sense when we are first starting the application, when we are executing or when we are opening the website, if what needs to be happen, that one we are defining here. Okay, when you are running the solution or when the end user open the particular website, in which way that methods and also be executed, that is the order. Okay, so this is the order as well. Okay, in the uh, component we can write functionality in these methods. Okay, constructor get derived state from props. Okay, constructor is the one to define some values and to get the properties from parent class. Okay, those things and all we'll be doing constructor. From there, if you want to set some values to that particular properties, those like to play with the variables we will be doing in the derived classes, in that get derived state from props. Render is the method by default should be there in any of the class component. Okay, these three methods and all like optional methods only, either it can be available or you can skip. It is not mandatory that these three methods, constructor and that get derived state from props and component it mode should be available. There is nothing like okay, based on our functionality only we will be including these three methods. Okay, but render should be there, if not it won't work. Okay, from the render only whatever we are writing, it will be either passed to that parent class or it will display in the front end. Okay, render is the main method, and after rendering, if there is any changes happening in particular variable, if there is some user interruption happening, means to do that in the front end we will be doing component did mount. So in component already mounted, and after mounting if you want to do some changes means we'll do in component. Even in our SharePoint functionality as well, what we mostly do now in the render function, we will be loading all the so if you want to display SharePoint list in table format means in the render we'll be writing the table and give some header, everything we will be giving it. After giving it in the component did mode, we will call the REST API. Okay, so to update the values in that table. Okay, that's the purpose of component. Okay, render we load the front end components, how to display, what is the color, everything will be done in the render method. After that, we will call the API to SharePoint SharePoint API to communicate, and we'll get the data and we'll update that table in this component mode. This is the functionality we'll be doing when we are creating SPFX in web part as well. So you remember, constructor is the one this is the first point to communicate with its parent class. Okay, if parent class in the sense how I'm saying, there is a students component. Consider it's the parent class, parent component. Okay, X, Y, Z, three students are there. Student details component. It's a child component. Okay. So in this child component, so what is happening whenever an end user clicks any of the student X or Y, Z, we will call this student details component, and we will display all details about student name, class, like coordinator, address, phone, like that, all the photo, all details we will be displaying this student detail page. Okay, so for this we will be passing, say for example I am clicking X, means we need to pass this variable X to this child component, right? So for that, to receive the to get and to know which object we received from that parent component, that one we will be defining in the constructor. Constructor, in the constructor method, receive properties from parent class, and there is one more concept, state concept is there. The state we will see after this life cycle. Okay, state we will declare the state, define the state. So we will define what are the state properties to be used in this particular class. Okay, if you see our method. Okay, here they didn't use any uh, state or constructor. Okay, we will write our own constructor after this. Okay, so this is by default they directly return the render property. Okay, we need to write public constructor, that method we need to write, and below to that component did mount, and sorry, get derived state method, and below to that render we need to write component did mount method. Okay, that's the process we will be writing it. You go through it. Okay, this is for mounting. Okay, once the page is loading we need to follow this process. Okay, in the update is happening, means say the prop and state we discussed, right? In the parent component, if there is something, some changes are there, and you want to do some other in the same using this, we need to update the content in the page, means we need to follow this process. Okay, get derived state from props will be there. Should component update. Okay, so here only we'll be defining should component update, get snapshot before update. Okay, these two things are like to update the component, they are verifying whether we need to update the render method or not. Okay, after rendering, if we want to store the previous state value, that we will be updating here. So these two things, two things they are doing when updating the component. Okay, this is unmounting. When closing the page, when coming out of particular functionality, component will unmount is the one. This is something like clearing the something DOM and clearing some variables, and if there is any connection to the API, clearing those data. Those things we will be doing in the component will mount. Okay, will unmount. Okay, so you go through these things. Okay, this is simple things only. So predefined methods that we will be doing, we will be writing in order. Okay, one by one. First constructor and get derived state, and render component did one. Okay, mostly we will be writing these three. Constructor, render, and component did mount. Okay, in these three methods only we will be writing our code. Okay. Um, any doubt in this?
Sun will listen.
Sorry?
I'll go through this link and I
Yes.
will, if I have any doubts, I will ask tomorrow.
Sure, sure. Yes, you go through this. So component, React component as well. Okay. There's one more things we discovered. State and props. Props in React. Okay. So as I said, prop is used to communicate to share data between two components. From parent to child, if you want to do some activity means you want to pass some property means you need to use prop concept only. Okay, parent to child communication. Okay, in see prop here example. So see, this is the example. Okay, if you see, there is a function they have written function welcome prop. They need prop from the parent function, whichever they are calling. Okay, and in that they have written hello, the name, that property name. From there, whatever they are passing, they will add here. This is the concept of prop. Okay, So in the parent class, when they are calling this child method, they will call like this only. Welcome. They have given the child class name and the property to be passed. The name equal to Sarah. Okay. So this is the concept. Like the same way in the .NET, when we are calling something, we will be like pass some variables in the methods, right? To add some or to do some operation from parent to child, will be passing some variables, right? So that's the same concept here. They are saying as a property props. Okay. So this is one of the simplest property. So there may be some complex properties, multiple components, multiple data, and like arrays, objects, many things they can send. Okay, this is one of the simple. They have passed a string value, just string value. From there they will return hello Sarah. It will return and they will print that hello Sarah here. That's the output from this solution. Okay, so prop is to pass data from parent to child component. Okay, state is something within the component. If you want to have same value and you want whenever you need update and do we can say state as a global variable. This is prop state. Okay. We can say it as global variable in that class. Okay. So, we will be writing multiple classes, multiple methods in that class, right? So, render, constructor, component, did mount, get derived class. So, in any of the methods, if you want to use same value, say for example, I'm using that prop only in this class itself. Roll number. Roll number is the variable I may use in any methods like render, component did mount, or even my own methods. Wherever needed, if I use this means I need to declare this as a state in the constructor. Then only this particular variable will be available across the methods in that particular class. Okay, state is something we to communicate to get particular value across the class. We will be using this property. Okay. Yeah, components memory. That's what they are. Within the component, if you want to do and if you want to declare means you will be using concept state. See, this is the concept. Okay. So if you see in the class, first they have added constructor method. In the constructor method only, they will be adding the state, this dot state equal to whichever variable you want to declare. Okay. They want to use date variable, that is a new date of, okay, that a new data. They are declaring a date variable. That's it. Okay, this new date variable they are using in the render method. Okay, this is one way. So same way, what we will be doing, consider we are having constructor method. Constructor method, we will declare all variables which like in the SharePoint list there are 10 fields: title, modified, like that, modified, like that. And there are 10 fields are there. We will declare all the fields in this constructor using state variable, and in the render, while displaying it, we will use this state, so same way they used, right? This dot state dot whichever variable, same way this dot state dot title we will use, and we will display. If you want to display, instead of learn more about SPFX, you want to display title, this dot state dot title you will give here. Okay, so we used in the render method. Okay, in the component did mount, we will update this title value. How we will update? We will call API, and we'll get data from SharePoint list, and we'll update the state value. Okay, updating state value is, there is one method. Component did mount set interval distance. Set state. Okay, so in the constructor, if you see, this dot state, and they have used that variable name. Okay, wherever if you want to update the state variable, we need to use this, this variable, this dot set state of, and the variable to which here, the title we want to update, right? This dot set state of title equal to whichever value we are getting from SharePoint, that we will give here. Okay, the state variable will get automatically updated in the component did mode. Same way it will be refreshed, updated in the render method. Okay, that's the purpose of the state variable. Okay, you remember the state also. Okay, they will ask how you will update the state variable. So this dot set state of is the one you need to remember. Okay, and the thing, handling events and all is simple thing only. We can directly give. So same way in the JavaScript also we'll be giving, right, button on click event of, same way on click or mouse over wherever we need, we can give this method like this, button on click. These are on but case sensitive. Okay, so but whenever you are typing, it will give that option which one to be selected. Okay, you need to select, you can see small on, capital C in that click. Okay, on click, and the method you have defined you need to give here. Okay, this is about the event handling. Event handling in the sense, so if you want to hover particularly, see, if you hover this, color is changing, right? Same thing, if you want to, if you click particular activity, some events would happen, right? That is the thing they are defining as the event handling. So for each functionality, they can write their events by using the predefined methods, on click event, on hover, like that. Whatever method they have provided, we can write in that tag itself. Okay, conditional rendering. This is something similar to Woods concept. Okay, you can see is logged in, from the property they are getting whether particular user is logged in or not. But this is Boolean value. Okay, if user logged in, they will give that greetings message. Okay, or else they will give something, guest greetings or some other message. You can use this if else conditions, or you mostly they will use ternary operators. Ternary operators here. So this is available in even .NET as well. Okay, this is the ternary operator, question mark and colon. Okay, See, if authenticated, same concept they are given. If authenticated render, give the output, or else give a login page. Okay, that's the thing they are doing in the if else condition. Okay, so instead of writing in the 5 lines of code, in single line they can do using ternary operator. Okay, authenticated. If it is true, it will execute. So after question mark, whatever we are writing, it will be executed if the particular the first condition is true. If it is false, it will execute the second things provided after the colon. Okay. If it is true, render app will execute it. If it is false, render login will execute it. Okay. This is the ternary operator. So instead of if else, okay, mostly we prefer to do this is in single line it completed, right? So same way, same way, if instead of writing is logged in this condition, is logged in question mark. After question mark, we need to give which method to be written. And just then colon. Okay. So this is the operations. Okay, this they have defined as a conditional rendering based on particular condition. If you want to load but different components with, this is the way based on you can do in the render method itself. Okay, so everything they have given in simple way only. You go through everything. Okay, list and keys. List is something if you want to do multiple data, if you are getting multiple data from the source and you want to store in the particular variable, how you will do using list, and arrays also you can use. So you can do list and arrays. Forms is some input form, I think. Okay, input, select, and text area, these you can design your own forms using React. Okay, you advanced. Okay, you go through this main concept. Okay, so till composition versus inheritance, till this you go through this and you understand what are the major main concept we will be using in the SPFX. Okay, mostly whatever we discuss, these things only majorly we will be using. In some cases only, there is one more concept, routing. Routing is there. Routing we will be using. So I told you, right, if to come to pass to in the front end to move from one component to another component, we'll be using routing concept only. So if you click on this event handling, from here to event handling component it is moving, right? So for this we need to use the routing concept only. That we will see after so tomorrow we will using this concept we will try to write code in the in the existing solution, and we will try to get some output, and we'll familiar with whatever concept we discussed. Okay, we will familiar with this concept, then we will move to the routing concept. Okay, so till now, do you have any doubt?
No.
Mm, okay. Okay. Yeah, you go through this basic concept. Okay. Using this concept.